Welcome back to Mac Talk Sports, and what a day of football we just had. Three amazing games: Spain, Switzerland, and Italy winning all their respective games, and I'm personally really happy about it because I predicted all three of them to win, and I even predicted the scoreline for Albania and Italy correctly. So it was quite a good day for me. A lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. The first game, Hungary versus Switzerland. I personally thought it was going to be a tight game and a close contest, but it was not to be. Courtesy of the Hungarian defenders, they were really all over the place, especially in the first half. There was no communication between them. Their passes were all over the place, and the Swiss team, to be honest, fair to them, did capitalize on it, and they got their rewards. Under 10 minutes, Abishar plays a great through ball onto the fields of Doha, and he scores, and Switzerland are 1-0 up until the linesman gets his flag up and calls it offside. And why he did it, I don't know, because even from a naked eye you could see that there's a clear difference between the defender and Doha. But thankfully VAR does his job, unlike in the Premier League, and gives the correct decision, and Switzerland get their goal back. They continued on with their momentum. Another defensive mistake from the Hungarians, and Vargas is in, but his shot gets saved by the keeper, and his shot gets saved by the keeper, and the game goes on. The Hungarians almost came back with it and stopped the momentum of the Swiss, but Willie O'Brien heads the ball but straight at Johan Sommer's hand, and that turned out to be very crucial because moments later Abishar gets the ball on the left hand side, gets it in, and curls the ball right into the top corner and scores his first international goal. What a way to score it, and what a time and occasion to score it. And from that point on, the Swiss were in control. We go into the first half with Switzerland leading 2-0, and it was not really looking that there would be a way back for the Hungarians. In the second half, they were much better. They tried to get the equalizer, and they almost got it back courtesy of Varga, but he missed an open goal. There was nobody, and he heads it wide. 3 minutes later, he made up for it with the difficult chance. Then the previous one heads it wide from the perfect pinpoint cross from Dominic Solsby, and he heads it in, and 2-1. And you think that the game is on, and the Hungarians were right at it. But the experience of the senior players in the Swiss side came in handy. They calmed their team down. They slowed the game. They let the Hungarians have the ball, but they were not able to really make any good chances out of it. Clear-cut chances, there were none of it. In fact, the only good chances that came in the second half were after the goal came to the Switzerland. In the 90th minute, Granit Xhaka almost got the third for the Hungarians with the header, but it gets saved, but it did not matter to them that much. In the dying seconds, another Hungarian mistake, back pass. Mbolo, who had come from the bench, gets the ball, chips it over the keeper, lost his shoe in the process, but it did not matter to him as the Swiss get the third goal. It's 3-1. And the game ends with a great comfortable victory for Switzerland, and it's quite a convincing one. It's an important win as well, because now their next game is against Scotland, and after this performance and the way the Scots performed against the Germans, the Swiss would really fancy themselves. They win that game and they're on 6 points, and you think, yeah, probably they have made it to the next round. Hungary, it's not really looking that good for them. The last goal would really hurt them, because we know even the third place teams can qualify for the next round, and the goal difference could come in handy. They are going to play the Germans next, so who are in a great form, especially with what we saw last night. So if they lose that game also really badly, then this last goal, losing 3-1 and 2-1, could become a very big deal for them. So it was not a really good day for them, but we'll see what happens in the next round of the matches. Congratulations to Switzerland. And yeah, we'll move on to the second game, Spain versus Croatia. Now, I predicted that this was going to be an easy game for the Spanish team, because I do not rate this Croatian team very highly, and it turned out that exactly like I expected it to be. The Spanish team from the get-go, they had the position, they were dictating the play. The Croats, they were just sitting back, absorbing pressure. There were no urgency from their side. They looked lethargic. There was nothing from them, and the Spanish players, they kept on going, waiting. Usual Spanish play, the boring stuff, the possession-based football, but there were no chances coming out of it until Fabian Ruiz plays a great through ball from inside his own half onto the feet of Alvaro Morata, and the captain sticks it into the back of the net. His 7th goal in the Euro tournaments, and his good form continues from the play in the qualifiers and the friendlies into the tournament. I said in the preview that if Spain have to do good, Morata has to score, Morata has to perform, so he would be really happy with that goal. 3 minutes later, Ruiz is again there, jiggle past two defenders inside the box and shoots, and you are 2-0 Spain are 2-0 up, and that just opened the game up. It was like then it became an end-to-end stuff. The Croats finally woke up after the second goal, and they almost got one back. Brozovic shooting, but the keeper gets down, and Mar was only able to hit the side netting on the rebound. It's 2-0 and the game is going on. The Spanish team, they get a corner, and Lamine Yamal, the 16-year-old sensation, the youngest player, he made history to play in the Euros. They have a short corner, they play a 1-2, and he crosses it in, and Dani Carvajal, the Real Madrid captain, gets in, stretches it enough, polys it in, and 3-0 up. Game done and dusted there. In the second half, the Croatians came back. They tried to get a goal, but going forward, they had left so much space in the space behind, and the Spanish player got inside of Yamal again. Almost broke another record for being the youngest goal scorer in the tournament, but not to be. His shot got saved. On the other hand, Stanisic thought that he had got the Croats back in the game with his goal, but Marco Corella, what an amazing last ditch tackle, and he keeps the score at 3-0. The game continues, but at that point it became it became clear that the Spanish team have everything under control. The Croatian team, they got a penalty as well, and they converted it, but unluckily for them, it got rolled out. So it became a very easy win for the Spaniards. It was 3-0, and nobody can say that it was lucky or anything. They were in control throughout the game. There was no special play from the Croatians that you could say this happened or that happened. If this would have happened, then the Croatians would have been able to do. They were utterly dominated in the first half, and the same continued in the second half as well. I personally think the Spanish team just put the brakes on in the second half and let the game play out, because they were already 3-0 up, so they did not want to risk it, go forward and concede. So that was, I think, the game plan for them, and it is a very important win for them, because now they have 3 points, and for the next round they are going to play Albania. They win that game, and again Spain are already through. Croatia, on the other hand, I have predicted them to go out in the group stages, and with the way that they have performed, I think my prediction is going to come true. It was very disappointing from them. Luka Modric was supposed to be their star player. He was subbed off around 70-minute mark. So that just tells you how bad they were in the game. And I think this is going to be the story for them. They are going to be the flop team of the season. Their next game is against Italy, which I again think they are going to lose as well. And the way they have performed, it looks really bad for them. Speaking of Italy, they had the easiest game of the day. They were going to play Albania, but what a start to that game. First minute, the Italians, they get a throw in, but it goes it was all over the place, and Bahrani gets the ball in, and Albanians are 1-0 up inside 22 seconds, the fastest goal in the Euro history, and the Italians, they are in shock. They don't know what to do. But from then on, it was attack after attack after attack from the Italians, and finally in the 11th minute, Pellegrini gets the cross, and Bostani in the back behind the goalkeeper gets the goal in, and it's 1-1. equalizer, and the Italians are back in it, and the attacks continued. In the 15th minute, Pellegrini again sets it up, and Morella scores a beautiful goal outside of the box, and that's it. It's 2-1. And upset that was that people were thinking would happen. The dream died right there and then. And then it was just one-way traffic throughout the game. Scamacca, his effort got saved by the goalkeeper. Chiesa, he hit the crossbar. Chiesa, I personally think, was man of the match. He was amazing, continuously creating trust, continuously getting back the defense behind the defensive line. He was really good. Second half, the same thing. The Italians were relentless with the attack, but they were not able to make any clear-cut chances after the second goal. The second half continues. There was the same. They had a lot of possession, but they were not able to convert that possession into good chances. Up until in the dying minute, Albania are the ones who almost scored, but Donnarumma makes himself big and makes it very hard for this Albanian striker to score the goal, and the ball goes out, and that's all she wrote. It was 2-1 to Italy. They get the most important win that they needed. The first, they are the defending champions. As I say, their squad is not what it used to be. It is quite underwhelming, but you know the Italians, they like to start slow and they build it up. Will they be able to do it again? Will they be able to replicate their success? We'll wait and see. But for tonight, the Italians are happy. They get to celebrate. Albania's tough. For Albania, it's really a tough luck, a hard luck. They played really good. They gave it all, and if in the last dying minutes they would have gotten the goal, it would have been amazing, but it was not to be. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the next round. I think they might even defeat Croatia and come in third in the group. With the way that both teams have played today, I would put my money on Albania to defeat Croatia because of how bad Croatia was. So yeah, that is it. That was my review. Please tell me what you guys think what you guys think about it, and what you guys thought of the games. Please let me know all in the comments, and please like and subscribe. I will do the preview of the next 3 games tomorrow. Until then, bye bye.